Dan.
G'day, Bob.
We just, it's good to get started at Ngā Whare Pārara at Summerfield Street, New Zealand's first zero carbon superhome. And I can see they're setting up the foundations now. It's been a long time coming.
It has.
A lot of planning. We lived here while we were waiting for our house to be repaired and experienced, did our time in the cold villa.
Yeah.
And it was lucky that it was fortunate that that was able to be saved and go to another site to be renovated rather than sent to landfill.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we have sold one home and another one under offer. Under contract.
That's great news.
So there's still largest of the four homes out the back, which is a standalone home with a double garage attached. Proper family home really, so in the Cashmere High School zone that'll be popular. And then House A is at the front, which is going to be the demonstration home in our new office.
Which is, I think we're standing on the front step now, aren't we, roughly?
I think we might be, around about the entry to that house. And then House B is the next one along, and that's still available. Probably my favourite actually. That's 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, why's that? Why's
just because it's got everything you need and nothing you don't. You know, it's the smaller of the 4 homes, but it's got still got a living space with a high ceiling and 2 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs, and they all have 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom on the lower level, so it's good to have that sort of for accessibility and functionality, and I think it's always good to have a bedroom on the ground floor. Obviously the key thing about these homes are it's a development, medium density, but done to superhome standards, which is very rare.
So why didn't you go high density?
We could have fitted more homes on this site. It's a typical, your classic quarter-acre section, 1,000 square metres roughly. We could have had 7 homes on here, but we wanted to have gaps in between each house so that we can get access to light and sunshine.
Probably very important for a person's mental well-being too, isn't it? I mean,
totally.
Being shoehorned in right next door to someone else and not having any space to live, or decent space to live, is a good thing to have that space.
Yeah, well, human beings like sunshine.
As we are bathed in it right now.
Yeah, it's the last of the afternoon sun. Yeah, that can't be underestimated. The effect of light and sun on your health and well-being. And when I'm designing houses, I always think about where would the cat like to be.
Yeah,
it'd be sitting in the sun for sure.
I was just saying that that I've used of late is health before wealth. So rather than putting people before dollars, and I think
if you do it well, it's still going to have some profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So health and wealth.
Yeah, 100%.
People and profit, I'd say, would be a good way to look at it. Because these are more valuable homes. They sell for more than a typical building code minimum spec home. But that's because of what they are, and they offer a better quality of life.
And I think the overall running costs too, they're definitely going to be lower than your standard building code minimum because they're going to hold their temperature. Yeah, you pay a little bit more up front, but you pay less over time.
100%. So, the people that get a cheap townhouse, they just pay more over time. And put up with the discomfort, basically.
So what we've the guys are just about to start. Well, they are boxing up the foundation now. So key thing with these older sections is the fence lines. We had to get, obviously with this in medium density development is the recession planes and lines to setbacks to boundaries. So we had to get the surveyor in. We found that there was some of the fences were in the wrong spot, which is not untypical of the older part of Christchurch for sure.
Yeah, totally. It's good to get to this stage. There's actually quite a bit of work to get to this stage in terms of the planning and design and documentation, and then clearing the site and all that. So smooth sailing from this point.
Oh, being out of the ground, especially at the winter time, is always a good feeling. And now it's just easy standing, easy moving, and should be able to crack on from here.
Yeah.
So this the first house here, House A, which is the Superhome HQ and BBR's office, is the first zero carbon superhome in New Zealand, which is a pretty cool project to be involved with. And the first part here, we're on piles, wooden piles, and that was because of the carbon calculations.
Yep. So that's been a bit of a learning curve, sort of calculating the carbon, but we used VQuest, their app, and we found that the biggest carbon component was the concrete. So we've tried to reduce the amount of concrete by having a timber floor on piles, and you're never going to reduce all of the concrete. We've got a little bit in the garage floor and things, but where we do use concrete, we'll be looking to use the low carbon concrete with the fly ash, so that has 40% less embodied carbon because we're using fly ash to replace the cement, or some of it anyway.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing here is normally what's specified, or what the council or the building code requirement is, using CCA or H5 or H4 treated timbers, and using CCA, which is the copper chrome arsenic, but we're going to be putting MCA, which is better for health as well, because you can actually use it in your garden retaining walls and stuff like that when you're planting vegetables, whereas I wouldn't try and do that with the CCA treated timber anyway.
Yeah, totally. That's a really good idea. And just another thing, we're trying to use natural materials that don't have toxic chemicals wherever possible throughout the build with the claddings, but also in the interior.
Because it's quite surprising how much of that CCA is actually being used in all-day building. You've got anything to do that goes in the ground. You've got your castellated or your structural cavity battens on your claddings. You've got decking timbers. All that stuff can potentially be leaching into the ground. Plus the person cutting it is being inhaled. Whereas there's obviously better options around. So they should be becoming a bit more widely used, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just another thing where New Zealand it's quite a bit behind. Other countries that stuff's been banned a long time ago. But yeah, so the other thing we're doing in terms of the low carbon aspect, we're reducing or eliminating the steel if we can. So we've got glue laminated portals. There's still a little bit of steel, but the ProLam portals are really good because it just means we can have a really strong build with a big open span.
And it'll reduce the thermal bridging as well.
And reduce the thermal bridging, yeah.
And reducing carbon.
Yeah, totally. So, those are really easy wins in terms of the carbon. And and then we found actually, a lot of the things that we're already doing, like the better quality thermal envelope and the better quality windows and things, and making it airtight and reducing the thermal bridging and all those things. A lot of them are better for the carbon, embodied carbon as well, and the operational carbon.
Yeah. So,
up front is something that we have started to think about more, because that's what's going to be emitted immediately, and then also dealing to the sort of life cycle operational carbon, which we've been doing for a while now. So this house will be zero energy as well as zero carbon.
So we've got solar panels on the roof?
Yep, we've got solar panels on the roof. And yeah, I think there's a number of other things that we'll talk about through the build, and use this sort of project as a bit of an exemplar, a bit of a case study, just sharing all the information along the journey. So just the Superhome way, sharing is caring.
And at the end of it, it'll be open for people to come and have a look.
Yeah, totally. So that's what we did with the first 10-star home in New Zealand, and this being the first carbon zero home. It'll be just open for people to see what is that, and that it's not too difficult, it's not too expensive, and we can do it now, and we should be. I think just the whole idea of not holding on to our sort of trade secrets and just sharing it with the community is the way to go, because it's too important to keep these things secret.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that I love about the Superhome movement, is the fact that you can, and it's a good thing to share about it, because we can't as a company build all the houses in Christchurch, you know. So why not spread as much information and experience? I think that's the most important thing too, is it's all based on experience.
Yeah.
Which I think is, you know, is just so important to give to people.
Yeah, it should be normal, you know. We're trying to create the new normal here, and it shouldn't be a niche, and particularly if we can show people how to do it, and that it's not too difficult, it's not too expensive. It's people shouldn't be scared of it.
No. Adapt or be left behind. Leave that in or take it out.